This is John here. This is part 2 of the Cub Power Unit. I'll fill you in on some of the things I've done. I removed the starter, cleaned the starter, bought a 6-volt battery, temporarily hooked up 2 cables to it, put a new set of points and condenser in the magneto, disassembled the magneto, the impulse part of the magneto. The magneto spring was really badly corroded, as were the dogs and the little springs that work those dogs. I cleaned it up as best I can, put it back on, timed the tractor to the magneto. I have got some clicking action, but it seems to me like the spark coming off that mag is not going to be strong enough. I really think I'm probably going to have to buy a new impulse spring for the magneto. I drained the oil out of it, put new oil in, 30 weight, non-detergent, put a new oil filter in it, put a new head gasket on it, cleaned the head and block first, put coolant, antifreeze and water in, had seepage around the head, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that. I drained all the coolant back out. All the head bolts were torqued to 45 foot-pounds. I put some new gaskets in the carburetor, needle and seat. And what I'm going to try to do today is see if it will fire, and if it does fire and run a little, I want to know what the oil pressure is. So we're going to give her a little whirl here to see if she'll fire. I've disconnected the throttle rod that goes from the carburetor to the governor so that I can work it by hand, and I'm going to give it just a tiny bit of throttle. Now I've turned the gas onto the carburetor. I'm going to give her just a little whiff of starting fluid, a little bit of choke, and we'll see if it fires. Well, it's definitely firing. I'm going to take the choke back off of it. I think I have flooded it. Well, that's all for today. I know she fires, but I don't think the impulse spring is strong enough to get a really good spark out of that magneto. I'll work on the magneto and come back for part 3. That's all.